Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Today we are going to study the chapter number 2, unit number 1.2, that is Jinnah's vision of Pakistan. We are supposed to study this chapter, but before starting the chapter, I should convey some important things, some important points that you must keep in your minds while we are going through this chapter. Whenever we are going through some chapter, it is quite compulsory, it is quite significant that you should be quite open minded and you should have a lot of concentration on the chapter. So you are quite able to understand all the things present, all the points that are discussed, and even the meaning of the words that are present that might be asked in MCQs type questions, or even some conceptual question can be asked by the examiner. He is not confined to ask only the questions that are present in the exercise or study questions, right? So today our topic is Jinnah's vision of Pakistan, that is the chapter number 2 1.2. And as you know, we are to study what did Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah say to his Constitution Assembly before uh, coming into being of Pakistan, or we should say that creation of Pakistan was decided, or it was formally decided that 14 August would be the Independence Day of Pakistan. But on 11th August 1947, it was decided that Constitution Assembly should be founded, and then Quaid-e-Azam, who was to be the Governor General of Pakistan, to be the soon Governor General of Pakistan, the very first Governor General of Pakistan, he should address the people who would decide or who would just form the Constitution of Pakistan immediate after the creation of Pakistan. So, this chapter we are going to discuss that. We start from the very first lines. Muhammad Ali Jinnah's 11th August speech is one of the most famous speeches made by Muhammad Ali Jinnah, the founding father of Pakistan and known as Quaid-e-Azam, great leader. Today, there is hardly a more contentious issue in Pakistan than the issue of Jinnah's vision. So, the writer uh, is saying that there is no other, we should say that, to such an extent contentious mean the thing that is an adjective. It means that the things that cause disagreement or that uh, make some people or go about that what was the vision of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Al Jinnah, that you should say that initiates the discussion of people whenever somebody is talking about the Constitution of Pakistan, and when somebody is talking about the vision of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Al Jinnah. So we should also discuss that what is the vision. As you are just looking at the notes on the side, vision stands for a thought, a concept, or some object that is formed by some imagination, or that is just by foresight. Foresighting means that the things we look before their occurrence or before they occur, we are able to understand what might be the possible effect or possible you should the results of that occurring, or how would that occur. That means vision. So Qaid's vision was, we should say that, a contentious issue in Pakistan than the issue of Jinnah's vision. So he says that while Pakistan was created as a result of what could be described in Indian Muslim nationalism, so Pakistan was created, it came into being on the basis of, we should say, nationalism or two nation theory. It was based on the fact that Muslims and Hindus are two separate nations, and they are living quite different way. All of the things that they have in their culture, in their society, in their religion, in their uh, daily matters, in daily routines, or even in a political scenario, all the things are quite different for the Muslim, and they are of course different from Hindus or even some other nations. So it was the basic idea on which Qaid-e-Azam Muhammad al-Jinnah uh, asked for or advocated for a separate homeland for the Muslims of subcontinent. So Jinnah was widely held as a competent barrister who had once championed the cause of Hindu-Muslim unity and a united India. But it is quite, it is not quite. We should say that uh, not known by you that Qaid-e-Azam, as you have already read in your earlier classes, and even you have been going through in your Pak studies, that Qaid-e-Azam once was a barrister. Barrister means Allah, who advocated, who argued for the unity of Muslim and Hindus who were living in Pak subcontinent, but Indo subcontinent, who were living in Indo subcontinent. But even after some time, he came to know that, or he understood that the Muslims and Hindus can't live together. So he started advocating or preaching that nationalism or two nations theory that we know very well. When the partition of India finally occurred, Jinnah soon to be the Governor General of the Dominion of Pakistan. Dominion means that is an independent and supreme authoritative country, gave expression to his vision of Pakistan in an address to the Constituent Assembly on August 11, 1947. He spoke of an inclusive and impartial government. Right. What is inclusive and impartial government? It means that a government that would make include all the people in it. Mean it will ask for the representation of all the people who are living in Pakistan, or who were supposed to live there at that time. Mean all the leaders, all the political leaders would be included in authority of making government and constitution. And impartial also means such authority, such government that is uh, not prejudiced about anything, that is not partial to anything. Mean that wouldn't show any sort of sport to any specific uh, part of society, or any specific caste or subcaste, or like these things. Mean it would be quite neutral. It would not have any indication or inclination towards any person, anything. Religious freedom, and it would have religious freedom. It means that all the people who belong to different religions and who would be supposed to live in Pakistan, they would have the religious freedom, and they would go to their temples, and they would go to their church, and they would go to their, of course, a mosque that was meant for the Muslims. It means that he wanted to say that our country would have complete religious freedom for all the people who would be living there. So he based his vision, and he wanted to form Constitution of Pakistan on the basis of this basic, we can say that the basic vision or basic law that he presumed for Pakistan, for formation of constitution or law, rule of law. And he wanted, Qaid definitely wanted the rule of law in newly built or newly generated Pakistan, and equality of for all. And he was also an advocate for equality of human beings, or he wanted that all human beings should be quite equal, must be considered equal. They should not be considered and must not be considered unequal on the basis of some caste, some religion, some color, uh, or even some race, or like these things. Right. So that is also in support of our religion. Islam doesn't allow such kind of uh, inequality or such kind of not being equal as a social members of some society. He also seemed to advocate the ideology of Pakistan. Yes, we were talking about ideology of Pakistan. Ideology of Pakistan mean a set of ideas, beliefs that constitute, that form a specific outlook regarding the living culture and specific living ways of some society, some nation. That is called ideology. Ideology stands for basically the set of ideas or beliefs that govern, that control the lives and cultures of some specific community, some nation. They are called ideology. So the ideology of Pakistan was that it was based on two nations theory, and as we have already discussed, that it meant for uh, being for getting a separate homeland for the Muslims of Indo-Pak continent, because Muslims were quite different from Hindus in each and every way. We come towards the next one. He also seemed to educate the ideology of Pakistan. Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, Qaid Muhammad Al Jinnah was addressing the people who were present there in the Constituent Assembly. Now, the next paragraph. I cordially thank you with the utmost sincerity. So, Qaid Muhammad Al Jinnah cordially mean warmly and amicably, sincerely, in the most friendly way. He welcomed and he thanked all the people who were present there for the honor you have conferred upon me. Conferred mean bestowed upon me. Mean the honor was given. Qaid Muhammad Al Jinnah was talking about the honor, the respect that they were given by people for forming or for making them the first Governor General of Pakistan, the greatest honor that is possible to confer. And it was, according to Qaid Muhammad Al Jinnah, the greatest honor that was by electing me as your first president. The president mean here stands for the president of Constitution Assembly. So I also thank those leaders who have spoken in appreciation of my services and their personal references to me. And then he thanked the people the leaders who had spoken in appreciation, in admiration, or we should say that the people who admired Qaid Muhammad Al Jinnah and their personal references they talked about. I sincerely hope that with your support and your cooperation, we shall make this Constituent Assembly an example to the world. He wanted to make that Constitutional Assembly an example, a model for the whole world. That was his wish, desire for Pakistani Constitution Assembly. The first is no, he wanted to discuss about the two main functions that were supposed to be performed by the Constitution Assembly. Right? The question can be asked, and it's a very important question. The examiner, the paper setter, might ask you this question: what were the two main functions of Constitution Assembly to be performed as told by Qaid Muhammad Al Jinnah? So now here the first is very onerous and responsible task of framing the future constitution of Pakistan. Right? The first function was that onerous. Onerous mean very burdensome, troublesome, that demands a lot of effort, labor for forming the constitution. Of course, forming a constitution of a country is not very simple, or it's not a very easy task. It's quite a serious and quite laborious task for the representatives of that country, that they should form the constitution, and especially the constitution that is for a newly built country. The first is very onerous, and then the second function was, what was the second main function? That was responsible task of framing the future constitution, and then the second was as a full and complete sovereign body as a federal legislative of Pakistan. Right. Now he is talking about that the Constitution Assembly should work or should continue as a complete sovereign. Sovereign is a political term. It means that something or some person or some country who is completely authoritative and supreme, mean he had full uh, authority and full independence to work, or he is supreme in uh, himself or in itself, if there is country in herself, we can even say. So federal legislature or legislative mean that is related to forming law, and legislature mean that is the body, that is the assembly of federal legislature of Pakistan. We have to do the complete uh, we have to do the best we can in adopting provisional constitution. Provisional mean for the time being, for that time when it was needed too much, or it was the very basic need to form law, or it might be some temporary constitution at that time. You know, really that not only we ourselves are wondering, but I think the whole world is wondering at this unprecedented cyclonic revolution, right? So Qaid Azam Muhammad Al-Jinnah was talking about that the creation of Pakistan was not a very easy, very simple way of creation of two countries, two homelands. It was quite, you should understand that it was quite unprecedented. Unprecedented mean there was no example of such creation of a country, a separate homeland for a nation in the world. Before that, it it was unprecedented in the way that it was formed. It was created on the basis of some ideology, some we should say that two nation theory, that was the basic thing, nationalism, that was quite unprecedented, unparalleled, not matchable. No example of this was found, that is called unprecedented. And then he says that it was cyclonic revolution. A cyclonic mean that was storm like, mean it was stormy, exactly like that. That was some stormy. It created a lot of trouble for the people who migrated, you know, that from India to Pakistan, and even other, there were so many other troubles, issues that faced the people. And then he says that it was a revolution. Revolution is a sudden or radical change process, right? But when we compare it with evolution, evolution mean something that is progressive mean that is a gradual or continuous process of moving, or process of progressing towards a better situation, that is called evolution. So the creation of Pakistan was not a we should say that uh, evolution, rather it was a revolution for Qaid Azam Muhammad Al-Jinnah and other people, that they were forming a new country, they were just supporting, they were working hard for the formation of a new country. So that is no complete here for the for today. And we summarize, or we just focus on the main point of this chapter up till right now, is that the two main function of Constitution Assembly, right? So the Constitution Assembly has two main functions that were told, that the very first was forming of constitution law for Pakistan, and then other was to form or to work it as an independent and authoritative or supreme body without any interruption of other people. So dear students, we'll stop here for today. Next we shall go towards the next parts of the chapter, and we'll complete this chapter on the next day.